down the bay at night, waiting for the evening tide, sailing with you by my side, sailing till the sun was bright. Flashes of my lifetime, every time I'm in this place, you're just a place away.
What is this music? How about now?
The scent of you comes like a wave.
I want to fly where we so high, can't go without a doubt. Energy 300 plus a little sun. Tend to me while I go in and give you some lazy hours playing between the moon and sun.
One last song and we will officially start. Here we go. After this song, we will officially start. So just hang on tight a little bit more.
Here's a lockpick. It might be handy if you, the master of unlocking, take it with you.
Looting through the rubble, leaving cities war-torn, still incurring war scorn. Ragged and I'm forlorn, trying to unlock this. Open with my lockpicks, punching with my second hand every time the clock ticks.
All right, there you go.
All right, let's see how this thing's going. Oh, that's a lot of hair. Just give us a moment. Again, audio test, that sort of stuff. Let me just... Actually, my hair isn't... I'll just have to lean look. Let's see. Oh, that's a lot of hair. Awesome. All right. I'm so happy I finally, after a million years, figured out how to do higher quality audio on this thing. Hi, everyone. Welcome. This is a glassesless side pocket, as people call me on the internet. I left my glasses in the other room. It's like I have a lot of things that are going well. Like all the big things are going well in my life. But then all of the smaller things, like having my glasses, is not a thing. Although the good thing is that I am nearsighted, and the stuff I'm about to do tonight, I technically should not need my glasses for. I'll just kind of look a little bit spaced out and weird, and without my glasses, my head looks more like a fuzzy almond, so let's put up with that. But anyhow, for people who are just tuning in, have never seen this show before, welcome to the DCG 201 live stream. We're formerly known as DC 201, DEF CON 201. We are normally, which we still are, and we're going to get back into this month, a kind of hacker hangout collective in person and online. One of the many groups that are part of DEF CON groups across the United States and worldwide. And we normally meet every third Friday of the month, and we're actually going to try to go back to hybrid meetings this month. I really wanted to have at least one or two virtual proper meetings before we went into this, but unfortunately fate didn't hold that. But on March 18th, basically this month, we as an organization, the current version of 201, the New Jersey DEF CON group, is now 5 years old. We, I believe, are at least now officially longer than any of the previous New Jersey groups on record. So yay to us, and also holy crap, 5 years. So we're going to be trying to do, starting in a day or so, like celebrations throughout this month. Yeah, Spaced Out and Weird is my brand. It's funny because I'm about to do at least one of those after this stream, if you know what I mean. But yeah, and also just note, one unfortunate side effect is that I am going to kind of squint in terms of the computer trying to read comments in chat. I love a lively chat, so if you want to talk about things amongst yourselves or ask me questions about why my hair is so crazy, about lock sport, lock picking, what we're doing tonight, and whatever, please free to chat and chat. Although if you want to just sit back, learn, and lurk, as I always keep saying, keep lurking, keep learning. The good thing is I do have a TV with a duplicate of the stream on there. It's a little bit laggy, but that's how I'm going to probably be mainly reading the comments, because I don't have my glasses, unless I take a break, and then I'll Clark Kent myself. But anyhow, the reason why it's important that we're going back to hybrid meetings on the 18th is, one, it's going to be our 5-year anniversary, and two, ever since the start of the awful pandemic, no, not the invasion of Ukraine by Russia, not the Putin virus, the coronavirus pandemic in 2020, we have been doing mainly virtual stuff. We went to hybrid for a little while, and then virtual stuff again, and Spaced Out and Weird is where you live. Okay, cool, so you live in New Jersey as well. And so it's kind of important to us that we get to back to, like, even though the world's technically not normal, at least some form of normalcy, meaning our new normal is a hybrid method forevermore of stuff that we can stream. The meetings, by the way, might be a little shorter, even for an anniversary stream. We're probably only going to stream for like an hour, maybe two, but there'll be exclusive stuff both online and in person, so don't worry about that. Anyhow, you could go check that out in a couple of days on our website that's currently down due to us doing major updates to it. But when it's up and running, you can catch us at dcg201.org or defcon201.org. I'm actually going to post that in the chat right now. And don't worry, there is an actual Master of Unlocking show. Just hang on a moment. But you can go to our website. Our website also has a listing of our various social media platforms, such as our Twitter at DEFCON2NNJ and Instagram at DEFCON201. We're also on the hostx.social instance of Mastodon, on Minds.com, which is a little controversial, but at least there's some truth on that platform. By the way, just to note, because I've been asked this for years, one also minor thing in front of that, our anniversary meeting, we will finally do the vote about what new IRC platform we're going to, since Freenode imploded a while ago. By the way, here's the link if you are sadly watching this on Facebook of how to talk with us on Facebook. But I will tell you right now, because I'm going to do like a bit of a history lesson during our anniversary stream, because we're going to have a bunch. It's not just our 5-year anniversary on the 18th. We're going to be having tons of, like, especially on social media, like little celebratory stuff. You might be able to win some things for real. There'll be like cool AMA type stuff. It'll be really neat. But if you ever wonder about social media platforms and what our limits are, there's basically 4 media platforms you will never see us on, because it's either too corporate or too well, they're also corporate too, but also just too obvious of like scam stuff, which tells you a lot because we're on minds.com. And those 4, just for the record, are you will never, under the current leadership, ever find us on LinkedIn, Slack, Gab, or Truth Social. Those are the 4 you will never find us on. Pretty much all of our members agree on that. Regardless of their politics, everyone just agrees on that. So just putting that out there. And then very much lastly, for our last 2 things, one is that if you do like the content you're going to see today, and again, honestly, it's going to be kind of a short stream, but it seems like the shorter streams are the ones that get like all the crazy involved, usually me exploring stuff. So this should still be a really good episode. When I found this, I got really excited. We're going to get into that in a moment. But, there's a weird streaming glitch. Okay. I hope everyone's still out there. Let me just do a test run here. Test. Just in the word test in chat. Okay. We're still connected, yay. But if you like the stuff that you can see, you can follow us on our main streaming platforms, like, share, and subscribe completely for free on Twitch, DLive, and YouTube. It really helps us out in terms of getting the word out. We're not monetized. We're not partners with anyone. That's why we're broadcasting to multiple things. But it just helps us out with awareness. Also, if you follow and subscribe to these platforms, you'll get alerts when we go on stream. So instead of trying to follow like the calendar and maybe certain things get delayed or canceled or shuffled around, you're like, which has been going on the past couple of months, unfortunately, and you're like, oh, what's going on? What the hell? You'll at least get alerts when we go live. So that's another important benefit. Also, we get a little alert thing that pops down on in the chat screen area, and I cheer everyone on, everything. I just want to double check that I have something on here. Okay, good. And lastly, before we get into the nature of this show, I'm going to use the intro to the show to get into the thing that we always do, that we have to do legally and ethically on the show. So first of all, in addition to having our meetups, like on March 18th of this month, which will be a hybrid, we have a bunch of specials and interest group shows. Admittedly, due to recent events, we've had less of them than we've had before. And unfortunately, probably up until May, you're probably going to see more of my face than you actually want to. However, these are shows for our various members, including myself, of interest that we like to do. And I have 2 of them. One which I skipped out last week because of current world events, Ukraine. Sorry, let me get a little hydration there for that. I already went through one Iraq war. I don't want to see another country go through another. There you go. And however, I just died. I skip out of this show, Crypto Barretts, where we look at cryptocurrency technologies as technologies. This is my other show, arguably the more popular one. I love doing both, so I don't really care. Called The Master of Unlocking, which I picked because I'm a huge Resident Evil fan, and I always love that meme from Jill Valentine, as you saw in the intro. But this is the show where I teach about lockpicking and lock sports. I am someone who instructs with lockpicking and lock sports, and just in case if you somehow think I'm a genius at this, because I've been told that before, ironically enough, I don't know why, but that was a weird flex. I didn't mean that to be a flex, but it just came out as a weird flex. I apologize, but no, people have done that, unfortunately. I've only started doing this about, I would say now it's 5 or 6 years ago. like almost around the time, I would actually say I started slightly before GI Jack and I refounded DCG 201. So as I always point out, if an idiot like myself can do this and learn this, you can learn it and not fall for the same bad stuff I did. But that's what I teach. I teach about locks and lock systems and security and physical security systems as opposed to digital ones, like how they're constructed, how they work by analyzing that, like what sort of odd intricacies or weaknesses there are, and then if we could possibly bypass them or pick them open or wave a ham sandwich around them or just something really cool, maybe change it into something else. This is why it's in the making and crafting section of Twitch. And so if you've been following the past 2 or so episodes, you'll know I'm in a mail drought. Basically, I got a ton of money, yay, so I ordered a bunch of stuff in the mail. And it turns out that even if you remove Donald Trump from the mailing system, you still have the unfortunate misery of DeJoy, which is why he has the most ironic last name ever, and the mail system still mostly sucks. It's gotten a little bit better. You know, I got my little COVID tests and stuff in the mail from January, but things are still awful. However, I've already got a couple of stuff in. Literally because it's Sunday, I know there's stuff at the post office. I have to go there physically pick some things up because a lot of the stuff I ordered was either big, heavy, or both because it's freaking locks, especially if you're teaching locks or learning locks. And before we get into the new thing that I found, I want to do the legal spiel. So I am a TOOOL member. I've also instructed things at various events that happen to have TOOOL in them. I'm not like an important person in the organization, despite what rumors say. And this is not a stream that is sponsored or endorsed by TOOOL. However, a lot of lock sporters, including the really obvious famous ones like Lockpicking Lawyer and Lock Noob and Fish Picks and Dark Arts Lockpicking and a ton of other people that I tag and annoy to spread the word about my stupid show, is that TOOOL has come up with 2 amazing rules that even if you aren't a TOOOL member is really important if you want to do this sort of work. So we always go through every stream, and then we get into this. Yep, first lockpicks from TOOOL. Thank you. I already forgot her name. Damn it. Was it Danielle? Oh, there's a really important person who's very famous for designing the pick profiles, particularly at TOOOL. And I think she or one of her colleagues now works at Lockpick Extreme, and I can't remember her name right now. Night Elf, he's in the chat, is probably going to scream at me the name and correct me like he usually does, because yay for mentors. However, we're going to go over those 2 rules before we get into what's out here. So, and I don't care if you're watching me live, or if this is like in the history books, or you aliens from Alpha Centauri, find this under like the hard drive that fell underneath the rubble of the entire port scan of the internet after United States, Russia, and Google nuke each other in World War 1 through 16. Okay, so just putting that out there. This is still important rules even long after I'm gone. So rule number 1 is do not pick any locks that you own. Okay, you have no idea how many times when I teach people this, and I know this is part where everyone's heard this before and everyone falls asleep, but bear with me, where I teach this stuff, and even after that rule, people are really tempted to try to pick the lock on their front door or pick their gym locker lock or whatever. A couple of things about this. One, every time you pick a lock or bypass a lock, that lock becomes more susceptible to that method. It also wears out the mechanics of the lock way faster than usual, so eventually the lock will break sooner than later. And your tools are also finite. Even though I actually still haven't broken a normal lockpicking tool yet, I have literally only bent 1 bypass and have broken a distitator pick that was incredibly crappy in the first place. But I haven't broken a normal pick yet, but even then, I know everyone has a broken pick. It happens. But you will more likely break in the lock. Or my favorite, you will then break your front door lock and break the pick in it, and now you have to spend money to replace all this crap. It's just freaking awful. Yeah, I was thinking, is it Christina? Is it Palmer? I know it's Christina, yeah. And Morsel, yeah, her alias is Morsel, yeah. Thank you, Night Owl. But yeah, please do not pick locks that you rely on, okay? The second thing is do not pick locks that you own. I don't know what computers you'll be looking at with these locks, but whether you see these locks or any of the other sample locks I have in the past or current locks, I don't want you to go like, you know, see that turkey feet selling business. They on their front door, they have a lock that's the master lock. I saw that Master of Unlocking show at that murder tool he had, and I got it online at frickin' goodwillyandex.com, and I'm gonna stop, okay? Don't, alright? Even if it's a sad-ass, pathetic lock, there's a reason why they put that lock on there. Also, that's on a property you don't own and have permission for, so you're trespassing and breaking a bunch of laws anyhow. And I'm pretty sure when the owner comes out with a baseball bat, yeah, things won't be pretty. So, we're going to go over it again real quick. Do not pick locks that you rely on, and do not pick locks that you own. Every single lock that you ever see on this show, I personally own and give permissions for everyone to pick. That's for both me to learn, because usually when I get something, I learn it and I try to open it. And then once I open it, it becomes part of my trading set, unless it's a challenging lock on purpose designed for all the tool idiots that are like, oh, your stuff is easy. And I'm like, here, have fun for the rest of the meeting. But all the locks that I own are there for me to learn and for others to learn that I give permission to pick locks, like when I go to tool meetings and hacker conventions and stuff like that. Speaking of which, there's going to be a lot of conventions this year. Anyhow, now that we got those two rules out of the way, let's get into what happened. So, I have some stuff in, but it literally came like 2 days ago, and I'm like, all right, I don't know how I'm already, like, this was the last bit of me being busy. Like, you're going to see a ton of updates everywhere on DCG 2.1, not only because it's our anniversary, and not only because we are also kind of going to help out with the crisis in Ukraine. It's actually the reason why we didn't have the February meeting, was that was literally the day of the invasion. And you've probably seen, and I'll show in a bit, we made a blog post about how you can go out and help the people in Ukraine, all the Russians that protested who are now beaten up and detained, and just making this slightly less suck than it already is, even if it's like 0.5001%, you know? And I've been trying to, and here's your first thing. I'm hoping this will happen in the next 2 to 4 days. I've been talking to a lot of different hackers around the world and just people, and I'm trying to do a live stream, and it's very time sensitive, about people who are currently inside and outside of Ukraine, and possibly even a person from Russia, even though their internet's being funneled and constantly shut down. I want to do an entire episode about all of this, so you can hear multiple different viewpoints. You can see people who are in outside the Ukraine, and just have like multiple different perspectives, whether it's on the activist front, the hacking front, internet infrastructure, what have you, about this whole mess. So that's something that's been in the works, along with our anniversary, along with content for upcoming shows, along with stuff that we're already planning to cons all the way to DEF CON 30. In fact, we are going to be making an announcement in March, in which then you should really not miss the in-person and online April meets and certain things that we're going to be doing that are not going to be live streamed for DEF CON 30. So stay tuned to that. But in long story short, I'm sort of like, all right, maybe I'll do 1 or 2 of these things that I got, because they're not the big major things that's right now sitting in the mailbox on Sunday that I have to go for Monday to get. And a colleague of mine, who shall not be named, was at a junk thrift store for computing stuff and came across this weird shit that I have never seen. I have never seen this company. I have never seen these products. And so this is yet going to be another episode where, and this is weird because I put this with the Python one. I never picked that lock. I didn't do anything with that lock, but I had that with me. I haven't even opened these. Like, I literally, like, except for one thing, which you could see in the picture, I had no idea what any of these locks were. So we're going to kind of get into this, and we're going to look at a funny web thing, okay? So now I'm going to tilt the camera down, because I promised the next meetup, maybe I'll, like, it's a little reflective, so let's see if I could turn this down a bit or something. It's kind of giving a weird halo effect. Hang on. Oh, nope. That's the wrong thing. Let's try that. Okay, that. Yeah, I think this one works, and I'll turn it all the way down. Alright, so sorry for the little bit of haze down here, but just pretend that you're in New Jersey smoking and you're good. And also, I apologize for the floor right now. We're going to have the proper table with the Elmo back the next Master of Unlocking, so don't worry about that. So, anyhow, here we go. So this is what my friend found. They come in these Ziploc bags. He got a bunch of them and he gave me 3, and then I found another one that we're going to look at right at the end that wasn't even in the photo. But this is how it comes into, and it's in a Ziploc bag. There's a reason why I've taken this out. And we're going to look, I'm going to read and look at this paper here. This is where I kind of wish I had the Elmo because it's really good documents, but it's from a company called Computer Security Products, Inc. And it's really weird because basically I couldn't find that much on them. This is their website, and this is what makes it really odd. Their website is just computersecurity.com. Like, it's not sketchy at all, right, folks? From what I understand, this company is kind of like, you know how, like, most people don't think, like, for example, that where mailboxes come from. Like, people think that, like, years ago, like, Ben Franklin planted some seeds in the ground and, like, outgrew mailboxes, and they've been there since the dinosaurs and everything. But no, there's a company that makes U.S. mailboxes, and they're the only company that makes that. Same thing with various lampposts and other major infrastructure stuff. Hell, I work a job where we have to deal with street signs, and I literally have a physical street sign, and it says the company name on it, which, by the way, is called Ameriviz. They make every single stop sign in the United. If you see a sign in the United States, like on a roadway, they make that. So that, like, if you are like the chair of that company, like, you might not be Bill Gates or Elon Musk, but you are essentially wealthy until the end of time. It's insane. And from what I understand, this is like the computer version of it, where they make, as they say, CSP, which sounds eerily to OCP from the RoboCop films, manufactures laptop locks, desktop locks, iPad locks, security cables, locking enclosures, and other security devices. Our products help prevent theft of laptops, desktops, projectors, printers, CPU, and other IT equipment. I just realized I forgot to post a stream on rlockpicking.com. I'll have to do that for the next stream because this wasn't the most eventful stream ever. Now, I actually have never heard of this company before, although I have seen very products that are similar to this. And basically, in the near future, I am totally going to look in. I know there's a lot of companies that make mailboxes. What I'm saying is that the point is that there now a lot of people think these, like, utilities just exist, and most people don't realize that everything is made by, like, some sort of company with a manufacturing plant. So, like, even though this just says Computer Security, they're located in Nashua, New Hampshire, apparently. That, you know, I've seen these sort of lock products everywhere, and, you know, even I was like, oh, I just think that these, like, lock cables and stuff for laptops exist. I kind of forget, oh, wait, there's a company that makes these. So, like, that's kind of what I get the vibe from here. Now, it could just be sketchy, or it could be both. Maybe they're a sketchy company that just makes all of the sort of computer locks that you see. And it seems like what they mainly do is their products are locking out ports and locking out, like, physical access to, like, the laptop keyboard and stuff. Ooh, this might be a cute one. Again, now that I've been introduced to this company, this will be yet another company that I am probably going to order stuff from for the future part of the show. What is this? Stop security plates. So apparently not only does this this is an interesting product. So you put this, it's a sticker. And apparently not only is it a deterrent, but it's like a unique code thing so people could identify if your laptop gets stolen. This is some hilarious. I also just love that this website has not gone beyond 2002 design. That's just amazing. Parent cluster box units with all security with complex Exynos locks and USPS Arrow Medico. Yeah, I know. Locks in for postal stuff is nuts. I've been meaning to, this probably honestly be years from now, I've been meaning to do I want to eventually do an episode or something on locks that are used as the postal service. And I have friends who also have worked in the postal service, so, like, I also know a lot of information. And I will put it this way, while you can get, okay, here's the best way I can describe it. From what I understand, the U.S. Postal Service is kind of like, and this is going to be like the weirdest comparison, by the way. it's good. They're kind of like the Freemasons, like over 100 years ago. Meaning that while you can go online and get like hunt down like on bidding sites, like different like padlocks that the U.S. Postal Service uses and stuff, the Postal Service they have like their own division and stuff that like prevents this. So they have, you know, the postal police, which are a real actual thing that I've had to deal with even at my job. And like they'll literally have their own employees go on and shop and outbid people for these locks just so that it goes back to the Postal Service. Things like that. Yeah, it is the start of the presidential election process. So again, that's why it probably has a fucking generic company name like Computer Security Products. You know, it sounds like a bootleg, like something that like a scam artist from like China or Kazakhstan would use, or I guess an MLM from Montana or something. But it's an actual company from what I understand. They've been around for a while. Oh god, they sell the master key to these laptops. I cannot wait to order crap from here. I'm so happy that I've gotten interest. I also didn't know they had a YouTube video. So what I'm actually gonna do, because they definitely don't have any, like, if they have any social media presence outside of YouTube, I am completely, like, this is news for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch back to did something happen here? On. Just want to test again to make sure that all the streams are good. And then we'll flip the camera back and go into what I have on the table here. Okay, so I don't know why oh! Okay, so apparently OBS updated shortly before I streamed, and apparently now there's a little dot that lets you know it's in record mode. And of course they don't tell you this shit. So I just saw a little red dot in the corner. I'm like, oh no, my stream's failed, because like red equals bad. But apparently it means no, you're live, dumbass. So that's what I'm kind of doing. Also, before I actually, now I'll show that at the end. So we're going to flip back to the table, and I'm actually going to go and I'm going to attempt to get this video so that way we can watch it before we end the stream. That will be fun. Just let me type this in. Alright, so on the table here. So we have the little paper insert. I'm going to read this as I also clumsily do, and let's actually tilt the camera back up. I'm going to read this as I do stupid, hilarious computer stuff here. And it's so low res, this video I'm capturing. It is 14 megs. So this is probably an old ass video. Although all lock stuff is kind of old ass videos. United States Postal Inspector Service. Nothing. Yes. Yeah. No. So here's literally a like military joke that all of my friends who've been to Iraq said. There was literally a point early on in U.S. history where the U.S. Postal military, essentially, their policing services, directly fought against the U.S. National Guard, and the postal people won. So there's a reason why the phrase "I've gone postal" is put at a DEFCON 5, the nuclear alert, not convention levels of fuckery here. You know, it's kind of like the old joke of like, you know, the only major organization that Hamas has ever cowered to is the Disney Corporation. That's not a joke. Go look that up. It's pretty insane. So you know, you can do terrorist activities against the United States and Russia and the UK and you know, Brazil and France, and like they can't touch you, but you don't fuck around with Disney or they'll literally send mercenaries. I wish that was a fucking joke. So I'm just gonna post this video here. Just we'll go look at this after I deal with this. So I'm gonna read this because I can't really show on camera because it's terrible and I don't have the Elmo. Economy Kit General Instructions. So this is apparently the cheap-ass version of real security. So we're already we're already off to a good start here. Let's go back. There we go. So already I'm confused. Let's see, the versatile. I don't know which way to read this. It's like all the information is placed right to left, but it's written in the default English left to right. So I have no idea what they're going for. The versatility of the economy cables, locking mechanisms allow for multiple configurations. I guess when you buy these, they just assume you know what you're using this for. So if you get these secondhand and you don't know what they're for, like I do, you're kind of screwed. It says By locking the lock directly into the locking mechanism. There's a phrase to say 5 times fast. I'm going to repeat that one. By locking the lock directly into the locking mechanism. That's a drinking game right there. You achieve a bullet on one end of the cable along with a standard loop on the other. And then there's like super low res even for like 2005. Even low res for 1998 black and white screenshots here. By threading the cable through the second hole in the lock and then looping back into the lock mechanism, you achieve the loop at both ends of the cable. Warning! You must thoroughly scratch up the surface when the rectangle is to be installed with the green pad included, or the glue will not work. And there's instructions here of clean the rectangle at the surface with the rectangle to be installed with the white. Alright, so from what I've gathered on here, you ever go to a public place where they have laptops for display? I think probably, even though I think they have their own system, is Best Buy. And you'll notice that all the laptops have like a cord chain that anchors them to the table, so you can't just be like, hey, I've been wanting a new laptop. Cool, thanks, bye. You can't do that. That's what this particular one is, because we have another variant we're going to look at in the end. But that's what this is. So from what I understand, this is a way you like put this in the computer, one of the ports, so it permalocks. And I'm not doing this on a laptop. We're just going to take a part look at it, hence why this is a short episode. And then you lock it to a little thingy that has like Gorilla Glue on it, and then it Gorilla Grip pussies the table. And anything you do that can't do. So actually, we have enough of these that actually I could probably, if my friend doesn't want all of these back, I can totally use these for like one of the BDS dungeons I work at. That would be kind of cool. I love how this is just me telling you TMI information no one needs to hear, but I like to share. Lock that locks into a lock that locks into a lock. Why are you giving spoilers for Lockpicking Lawyer's April Fool's episode? Although, I'm wondering about that. Because he's covered both orifices and both orifices once and dongs twice. So I am legit in awe about like what is going to be the fucking April Fool's Day thing this year for Lockpicking Lawyer. I can't wait for that. Especially since we're supposed to be at, hold on, one more sip. We're supposed to be at Exotica finally this year after like 4 years of planning this. So we'll officially have 5 Lewd Lockpicking Lawyer episodes. Tonight's tongue twister night. Lewd Lockpicking Lawyer episodes. The LLL, the 3 L's. Alright, so in the back of this instruction has instructions for what they call the Universal X Clip, which sounds like the worst X-Men comic ever. Instructions. The X Clip is used for the built-in security slot. So, alright, so from what I understand, I guess you insert the X Clip into like that little security hole that's on a lot of laptops, especially from back in the day. And it clips in, and then you like put this cable through with the lock on it, and then you put the Gorilla Grip pussy thing down, and it bolts it to the table. So, let's pan the camera back down. And we're going to take the rest of the stuff out. We're not going to use all of this. I just kind of want to look at this because this is just... Like, I initially didn't even know what this was until I, A, looked at the website. You know, and B, that I took that one thing out to look at it. So, in this bag, I will say the packaging, even for cheap shit like this, is really nice. Very rugged. Everything's its own thing. So, this is the Forbidden Lube right here. That comes out of this packaging. The Kuenyo Super Glue Liquid. Cryanosilurate adhesive for porous and non-porous surfaces. Not porpoises. I love this. Precaution! Can cause severe eye injury. Instantly bonds with skin. I bet you anything they use either this brand of glue or similar to glue corpses' eyes shut in the morgue. I'm obsessed with, like, you know, because I'm fucking weird, and I almost actually worked in the death market, believe it or not, like in funerals. That was almost going to be a career path for me. Another TMI episode. Boy, is this confession night. Whoop. And I dropped the glue. But so a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know all the like amazing shit they do with your corpse. Not just to like embalm it, but to like make it presentable at the funeral. And one of the things that they do is they glue your eyes shut, which to me is really funny because there's a lot of world religions, particularly in Christianity, that believe that you're gonna come back to life in your original body, and like even if like the man upstairs heals all your decay and stuff, your eyes are going to be glued shut. So there's going to be a bunch of people out there who are going to come back from the dead after the rapture, which Putin's going to cause by being the Antichrist. Him and the beast Donald Trump, and followed by Clinton money. And like, he's... And no one's going to be able to see because they literally have their eyes glued shut. So I bet you this is the same type of glue, and that's why they have that warning on there. Let's see. Yeah, another year I will miss the cutoff for April Fool's RFIC. I actually haven't heard the RFC yet. Yes, they also use the forbidden contact lenses, and they also have their own makeup system and like butt plugs, and it's pretty intense. And you actually made me remember something else. I just want to type this in here. I'm going to see if I can bring this up because I literally forgot the website here. You might have to look it up on my phone because I'm a dumbass. Yeah, I found it. Alright, so I'll bring that up at the end. I completely forgot about this. Speaking of locks, because I figured if Night Owl is still here, this will be kind of a fun thing to look up. And I actually just want to quickly check something. Okay, so they did delay it. Alright, good. And it brought me back. And this is weird. Alright, good. Scroll back up. There we go. Back to the stream. Mom is a hairstylist, and her side hustle is doing hair for funeral homes. Yeah, a lot of artists and makeup people do. You know what? I actually wonder if we should do like a hacking corpse episode. Hacking death. There we go. There's a village for DEF CON. They haven't done the Death Village. That's great. I mean, it could also that could also be like the Death Village where you have like things that are dead and expired, like GNU Herd and what was that platform Qualcomm had? Brew, and shit like that. So this is like a little like scratch sponge, I guess. It's either to get rid of excess glue, or as it says here, you have to you must thoroughly scratch the surface. So I guess you could also use this pad because it's very coarse to like scratch the literally scratch the surface for this. Simeon. I read that completely wrong. And then there's like an alcohol pad. Also, burn your fingers. And then here's the grip pad in all of its glory. As it's like a little rubber thing, and it's like, like stamp, like you just put that on there. It's almost like a stamp to put like for your passport or some shit. And then here's a little metal piece, I guess, that I think this is part of the X clip or something. I'm not sure. But that was in that bag. And then we have the cable here, and there's nothing really to write home about. I'm not going to clip these, by the way, because we're not going to properly take these out. This is the cord that, like, once you have the pad, and then the metal loop here, you feed this through, and then I guess the other end here is where it's going to lock into the mechanism, so this would be hold your laptop down. And then this is the thing, apparently, why my friend bought these all at the thrift store for, like, super cheap. I think he got, like, an entire box of various types of these for like $3 total. Like, it's basically, it was worth more than a television Amico. It was pretty nuts. And if I could get this little druggy... I love also how computer security... what are they called again? Computer security products... still follows the trend that I love about lock companies, where they're just convinced that, hey, we're ordering sketchy shit in the mail. Let's just put them all in tiny druggy bags, Because that won't alert the mail carriers or anything that you have a box full of a million druggy bags, from like a meth state, Yeah, I just got a box of a million druggy bags, from Alabama that was originally made by Cartel Inc. Like, that's not going to alert anything. Yes, the solution for it is acetone. Basically, most glue-based substances that aren't like insane, severe, like truly industrial stuff is acetone. Button bags. Yep. So, this is the main thing here. And this is possibly one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. Now, when I first saw this, without removing this, I thought this was a distatator lock. We've seen them on the show before. Unfortunately, I brought the lock stuff out to last night, and I actually have the magazine here. On Friday was the... I know this is like, oh, why are you showing this on the DEF CON group stream? No. But no, this is 2600. This is how I kind of got my start in like meeting people in real life, by going to their social meetings for antisocial people. And you know, all the people involved with DCG 201 originally met here, and they have like a cool thing about like the different hacker cons, including DEF CON 30 on August 14th through August 11th through 14th. My calendar has a lot more conventions on there than I'd like. And then there used to be so many meetings that you need like a magnifying glass. I mean, you kind of still need a magnifying glass for this, but it used to like have 3 columns, and now it's just this because of the pandemic. And I went to not the New Jersey one, which I know what that is, and it's really weird. But I went to the New York City one on Friday, so I brought all my lock stuff. So they're all downstairs, so I can't bring up the distatator lock. But that's my excuse. Again, this is going to be a short episode anyhow. But when I initially saw this, I thought this was going to be a distatator lock, you know, where, when I have the other kit over there, but whatever. You know, we've had them on the show before. It's the little turning gates, and I have that special tool that looks like a weird metallic butt plug that you put in, and you move stuff around. That's the new instant reward that popped up. But I then noticed kind of the shape of this, and I'm just sort of like, no way, that can't be it, can it? And, fuck me, it is a tubular lock key, except it's kind of the strangest, saddest tubular lock key you could ever have, because, well, so let me show you its bigger brother, right? So, this is normally, we did an entire episode of this, so I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but this is like a tubular lock, otherwise known as a Chicago lock. Is where if I remember correctly, I think these started appearing in the in mass in the 70s, and today they used to be on everything, but you can mainly find these on like a lot of the times they're used for bike locks. Although recently distatators I think are starting to replace these for bike stuff, but you still find them for bike stuff, like roadside stuff, like RVs and stuff, vending machines, soda dispensers at like fast food restaurants. That's where you normally see these tubular locks, right? And this is a clear one. I'm going to have to get a new one because this one's now a little wonky from overuse. But this is kind of what it looks like on the I wish I had the Elmo for this episode. What it looks like on the inside. And basically what it is the same setup as, because again, we did an entire episode about this, so I'm not going to repeat everything. But this is basically a normal pin and tumbler lock, but instead of all of the pins, key pins and driver pins and springs in a straight line in a row, you take that and you make it into a circle in 3D space. And that's literally what it is. But it's the same mechanism. It has the key pins, driver pins, the spring for tension, pressure. There's a shear line. And what you do is you take your key, which we're going to look at in a moment, and you insert it with the little tip part where it says the opening is. And don't tell me this is the wrong key. That's the wrong key. I think this is the key, maybe. No, that's not the key. Wait, am I doing this wrong? Hang on. Also, did I... Oh, I'm an idiot. I never actually... I had to demo this at MagFest and then clean it and put it away. So I just noticed, because it's clear, that it's actually not properly closed. Maybe I'll try to single pin pick this, even though I don't have a goat wrench. Maybe I'll do it at the end of the stream. Who knows, just to extend time. But you get the idea of kind of what it is. And I can actually show it on the non-see-through one, even though it's less impressive. So you take the little notch, you line up with the other notch, put it in, you press down, which pushes all the pins to their shear lines. And usually, pretty much all the time, most of the time, it rotates one way. Also, because of the nature of the tip, unless there's another notch at the bottom for some reason, these are usually key retaining. And some of them they've even modified so you can have like different like modes when you turn it, right? Now, if you look at these keys, you will notice something as well as if you look straight down into the lock. So while this doesn't look like your usual pin tumbler key, as I said in the episode, it's the same type of bitting. So there's like little cuts in it, and they're at different heights for the different shear line in this lock. And the reason why it's this big is that if you look in there, most full-size tubular locks are between 7 to 8 pins. So they're kind of 2 more pins than your common counterpart here. So this one, if I remember correctly, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, let's see, 3, 6, that's 7 pins, okay? And that's important because if you notice how insanely, if I can get it out, where are you? There you are. How insanely small this one is. So first of all, it has a little doink doink on it. That's there's a lot of tension on that. Oh, that's also the lock, I guess. So you press that down. See, I'm just discovering stuff myself, and it locks. There we go. So that's that doink doink. It's a little dongle dicklet here is kind of the security pressure point. But if you look directly down in it, so this one has 7 pins. This one is hard to see, but this one is smaller, way smaller than this guy. This is a full-size one. This is a mini one, and it only has 4 pins in it, which is really fascinating because on one hand, I can show you what I would usually use if I saw one of these. Now, if you want to be Mr. Elite Expert, you either have the right normal tension wrench or you have a particular tension product for tubular locks, such as the goat wrench from Sparrows or equivalent, and you tension it and you single pin pick it like 5 times and it opens. However, what most people at Lock Sport will go to if it's not like a challenge or whatever is they will use one of these. This is a tubular both pick and impressioner. There's little feelers which manipulates different heights, and even though this is going to be wonky, so I'll actually be shocked if I can open this or not. Use a magnet, kind of as I showed on the episode with tubular locks, to make them all even. You press them down on a table. I'm actually going to use this one off screen, just so that they're all even. And then you kind of do like this push and twist method. In one motion, I almost just got it. Almost got it. Actually, wonder if I could. There we go. At least that's a little bit. Oh. Sometimes you have to do different feelers. There we go. At least I got something there. Got locked into something else. That's weird. Nothing's worse when I'm doing an episode and then I kind of get curious. I guess I now have to redo that one as well. Yay for me. Let's actually reset that. It's probably the episode where I'm going to probably just screw up a lot for some reason. Because, you know, that has totally not been a thing. It's totally not been a thing since I've done stuff. Can I even... No, because it has to use the notch, right? I'll unfuck that one later. So, on one hand, that's how I would normally escape that type of crap, right? Is I would use this. And what's also great is that once you get it, and this is a least advanced version, but the more advanced ones, you can actually use a lever or a certain physical method that will hold all of these positions. So not only can I keep reusing this one as a key, but then I can measure the different indents, the different cuts, and then recreate a tubular lock key, and then just have a key that I can use over and over again, hence why it's an impressioner. But what kind of makes this lock really weird is, one, it is so small that even with the smallest normal one I have, especially with that prong in the middle, this will never fit this lock. It can't. It's way too small. And the other thing is that even if I could fit it, these are designed for 7 pins, and later on, for my personal use, I'm going to get one that are 8 pins. But this, as I've established before, is only 4 pins. So on one hand, this actually kind of basically defeats the whole impressioner system because it's normally designed for full-size tubular locks that are 7 to 8 pins depending on the model. However, in theory, because this only has 4 pins, usually the reason why there's such a pain in the ass to single pin pick is because there's so many pins. Like once you go past, like get to 5 or more, you'd be constantly repicking as these pins set in order to open. But theoretically, I should be able to, if I could tension this, and even if I had the goat wrench, it'd be hard to tension. It's interesting how this goes all the way around the circle too. I should just be able to pick this open. And it's kind of interesting too because there are cuts on the key and it seems to be really simple. It seems like there are two very shallow cuts on the right and then 2 deep cuts on the left. And where later on we're going to open up some packaging on here and we are going to see if all these are keyed alike, if they just come out all the same, which means we could just reuse this one over and over again if we ever see this model, or if they're actually cut different. But what I'm going to actually try to do now is I'm going to see if there is even anything, absolutely fucking anything that I could use in order to attempt, keyword is attempt, to single pin pick this, because I doubt it. I feel like this is the type of lock where I would have to, unfortunately, like legit make my own tools in order for any of this horse shit to work. Very shallow. So the candidates that I have taken out so far is actually, this one might even be better. So here are the candidates, and I'm probably not going to need all of them, or all of them are going to suck. But I have taken out the classic short hook, just in case here. Let me just use my case, actually. The classic short hook here, just because it's a staple of my kit. I have also taken out my Tron pick, which is a type of specialty pick from Sparrows, normally in their Monstrum unit. I got this one separately and added to this preset case. And it's almost a straight pick, and it has a slight curve at the end. It's supposed to be able to get around like high, low, high pin and low, high, low pin sets. But the key thing about this is we're going to have to be poking in because it's all in a circle. So we have to think in 3 dimensions. So I'm normally trying to go for the straightest picks. And that's exactly why I took these 2 out, because even though one is a half diamond, let's flip that over so it's a little bit more of a standard profile, and the other one is a snake rake. The half diamond at the top is almost completely straight. I always use that sometimes as a probe, and then this snake rake is actually mostly straight at the end of its tip after that curve, so that might be something. I also thought that maybe because of how tiny this is, just in case, I'm going to use my increasingly frequently I'm probably going to end up using on this show. This looks like the normal short hook, but if I take both of them out, you'll see that has the same profile. But if you take a look at it, if I stand them up like this, let's see if I can hold this. Let's try it like that. If I hold them, hold on, damn it, there we go. Kind of. Maybe I need 2 fingers. No, this is, hang on. Coordination. There we go. Something like, nope. Physics, why aren't you working with me? The more up I push it, the more even they get. Okay, I think that's as good as it's going to get. But if you look at these, if I hold them like dead on, this one is 25 thousandths of an inch. It's thin by metal standards, but it's still rigid. This one you can like bend. This one it makes a thwang sound. This one is mostly solid. It has a little bit of flex. This one has all the flex in the world because this one's 15 thousandths of an inch. And I just took that one out just because of how small this tubular lock is. And I don't have any sort of fancy wrenches. I think this whole thing would be tensioning. But what I did get was my 2 smallest, thinnest tension wrench profiles. So that's what we're going to attempt to be using here. So I'm going to take one more swig of this and we'll go at this. I think we're going to end the stream right at 10. So this is literally only an hour and a half episode. Got a short episode. And if you do like this episode and other things, and maybe we'll extend the length of the episode by trying to unfuck these, you can hit that bell, click like, share, and subscribe on Twitch, DLive, and YouTube. I'm going to put in chat where you can also find us on our website again, which is at dcg201.org or defcon201.org. I know we have a error when it comes to the certificate, but we are working on that just because we're doing major updates. So the first thing I'm going to attempt to do, me is the thicker one here of my smalls. And I'm going to try to figure out if I can even tension this, because I'm going to try to put it in this. I'm going to try to put this in this. See, this one's already, so it seems like it doesn't need to be thin, but it needs to be like not tall. That's the thing where it's like, I don't even know if we can tension this. Okay, so I got this one in, so I might be able to do it. Now, the other thing I don't know about this, and let me actually use the key again so we can see some of the mechanics here. So I put this in. Is that, yeah, it seems like it turns on something that is in the piece. I also feel this main, this pin kind of push down when I do it. So it seems like we're pushing on some sort of plate that pushes the whole thing back. So I'm kind of not sure now right now. So let's try it locked. Because that's going to be my problem here. Because I could point at these all day, but if I can't tension the core, then there would legit be no point in me kind of doing any of this. Like, that might be interesting. Like, I might have to send this lock to, like, some of my colleagues and see what I can do here. Alright, so I'm going to do a little bit, and then we will poking down at these 4 pins. So you would think with like less pins that like this should be like an absolute cakewalk, but now I'm running into the same exact problems that lock sporters and lock pickers did back in the day when they first came across this particular type of lock, these tubular Chicago locks, in that quite simply that you know, that they nobody knew how to pick these, how to tension these. Seems like I got 4 of them. And again, it's really weird to kind of just poke down at these, especially since like, I actually wonder, because, you know, there's, for example, there are lock picks that are designed for dimple locks and ones that are designed for, you know, multiple different types of lock systems. And I sort of wonder, like, even though, I don't even know if that did anything, that even though, you know, eventually you can get good at, like, picking all of this. Alright, so the half diamond's working better because of the wide head on it. The wide head. I kind of wonder if there should be like lock picks that are designed for, in the same way Lock Noob thank that Brit for designing a tension wrench where you can single pin pick tubular locks. I wonder if we should design, you know, lock picks that can do the same thing, and maybe like, maybe I'll do that. I'll get a Sparrow's blank and I'll make a pick where it's kind of like a little U-shaped cattle prod, and like maybe I'll make like a flat one and like a cattle prod U one, because what I'm thinking is it would be something to kind of cup these flat can pins, and then you can use like the handles with the shrink wrap and stuff to force down. Ironically, you'd probably also want the backs flat and have like a wider base so you can like actually like stab, or like ridges, so in like a wide, like maybe it's flared on both ends, have ridges in the middle, and have it flat at the bottom so that no matter if you're using it like the knife way or you're using it in like this way, that you have a way to like go and poke. And like maybe do these at like 20 thousandths of an inch instead of 25 or 15, because I feel like in a way, I don't think I'm even tensioning anything, that the 25s are slightly too thick for something like this. But I also feel that like that the 15s are way too thin and things could snap. I'm just trying to figure out, like, because it seems like, because what I can feel here is when you press down, you turn. Once you get to that point, it opens, right? Because, like, you can see it here, actually. Let me hold it up to the camera. So you can see, because there's a little cutout, there's like a space, there's like a slot over here. Now watch that slot. When I push the piston in, you can see it go there and it covers it, and that's what holds it in place with the cord. But when you put the key in, as soon as I turn it like 3 ticks, it pops back out again. So I'm going to do that one more time. Hopefully I'll hold it better. Can't wait for the Elmo to come back. So yeah, and this one you can spin around and everything until you pull it out. So I don't know, because when I turn it like this, it doesn't feel like, let's try to push it in. Yeah, you can't turn the center. So I think what you would need in order to tension this is you would need basically something that can push and pull like the plate in the back or something. And then that turns when all of them are in place. I kind of want to mess around with this a little bit more here, because this just very much fascinates me. I kind of wish I could cut in like another hole on the side and pull it out just to see like what the arrangement is. Because like my problem again is I don't know how you even tension this. Because it does rotate and it does push these in. I can feel it carry the pins. But what confuses me is I don't know exactly what I am rotating here. Maybe, hold on. No matter what degree I push that little mid piston in, it doesn't move, so you're not rotating that. So it seems like you're rotating the cylinder inside. I kind of want to send one of these to Lockpicking Lawyer and see if there's just an existing tool that I'm too dumb enough not to think of, or like if he can create a tool, or like any of the other people who are way more smarter than me can create a tool that can actually open this. So anyhow, we actually are probably going to, it's only 9:37. Honestly, we're probably going to end this soon. It's probably on the record of like the shortest episode. I think I'll extend this episode by futzing around and try to unfuck the normal tubular locks. Because if not, then tomorrow I have to go in, because one of the things I got that goat wrench. I have to do all of that. So while I put things back in their baggies, again, I want to thank everyone. We're not done yet. We're going to do a couple more things, but I want to thank everyone who is watching. I'm sorry we, kind of started late because of the whole, I just have so much going on with my life. Where did I put the bag for this fucking thing? Lost the bag. Where did the bag go? Where did the bag go? No, that's the 2 other ones that are identical. Actually, that's one more thing I can think of. Before we put this away, let's open up another one of these. And I'm going to take out the key for this separate core, and I want to see if they're all keyed the same, or at least have duplicates, or are all of the keys. This one actually came inside the lock instead of separately. I wonder if all of them are keyed the same, or because they're crappy like that in that way, cheap I should say, or if they actually have different bidding, because now I'm curious, and I also don't want to mix these up just in case. So we're going to remove this key, find the notch up here. Wow, okay, so they are, wait, hold on, almost. This is the previous key. Hope I have it upside down. Nope, all of them are keyed the same. See, I can literally take, this is the one that we got out of this packaging. Also opens it. So, basically, all the keys are master keys. You can mix and match. Even though you would think, greedy product manufacturer, I guess that's their way of not only making it cheap to manufacture on their end, that everything is exactly keyed alike and bitted alike, but also that way, if they're like, oh no, I lost the key for this cable, they're just like, get any of the other ones and use it, So I guess that works for them. So that's, I guess, good to know for me, because it's easy to keep track of. Bad for anyone trying to do any security for these. Because not only is there already 4 pins, and once someone knows how to tension it, they could possibly pick in, but it's also just one of those things that, like, I'm just thinking security in general. But anyhow, well, I thank everyone who's been watching the program. I know that tonight, and we're still going to go on for a little bit. It's a very short episode, but thanks for putting up with me in general. But no, thanks for putting up with me. And I know that I had to delay some things and cancel some things, and things were like radio silent and stuff. We had a very crazy, we had a very, very turbulent January right after MagFest happened. A bunch of different things that I feel uncomfortable saying happened, and I forgot the scratchy sponge. Scratchy sponge! And, we, unfortunately, that literally knocked out, like, the rest of January and almost all of February for us. But we're back on our feet now. We're going to be announcing stuff all this week, including details about the 18th. I'm basically going to make venue calls tomorrow. I'm going to check this. We're still on for this one main venue. If they have to move stuff around, we have an easy-to-use backup venue. I'm hoping to announce our meeting details by Wednesday, and then some point this week I want to do a different special live stream. It also sucks because we were originally supposed to do another video game live stream with either Gran Turismo 7 or, which I was really gunning for, Horizon Forbidden West, but those didn't materialize. It was all on my end. It wasn't from, like, our guests or anything. But we might do a video game hacker live stream in March, but in April we'll all be back on track for that, so it'll be great. Let's see what else. So before I get into this, we have one more of these lock systems. This was the other type that my colleague found. This wasn't in the original picture, and this is just so goddamn weird. First of all, there's not even a, like, zip thing. This is like, there's a staple. So we're going to open the staple here, and because it's stapled all the way through, let me actually be smart here. Oh, no, I actually already went past it, but I'm still going to be smart. We're going to remove the staple from this bag. There we go. Hopefully it doesn't prick me or step on it or whatever. This is a much thicker cable. I think it's probably used for the same purpose of mounting laptops and computers to tables. So this one is the Secure Calibit General Instructions. Okay. Don't know if this is from the same company. This is from Secure It, so there's another generic company name here. And it says loop cable. With the loop cable, both ends of the cable come together. There's a really particular thing about this, so I'm skipping different lines. The Cablet Kit line of computer security devices, let me raise this up to my face again, has many ways of protecting your equipment. For a description on how to install the fastener you received in your order, please view the opposite side of the sheet. This is like how to do. So yeah, this is you're bolting the computer to the table. Same thing where there's supposed to be a pad and glue, which I don't think this one came with. Maybe it's in the other ones. So there's a loop cable design that you can tie computers together. A point-to-point cable design. The point-to-point cable is a single directional straight line. One of the cable has a steel stopper, while the other one has the thing we're going to show, which can be removed. This lock is removed to pass the cable through the fasteners. The bullet is then inserted into the lock. And there's also many Cabit secure packages come with a flat bracket, which gives you the option to create a loop around the immovable object, such as a workstation. It's a little thing to kind of create an artificial loop as well as do that. But that's not the part that stood out to me. What stood out to me, so you get this cable with the bullet and everything, right? And then you get this. So this is the cable, and you get this. And this is... this is called, let's tilt the camera down, and let's go on a very quick music break. A literal quick-ass music break. And I'm going to get one of its cousins from somewhere else in the apartment that I have, probably my kit downstairs, and we'll compare this, then we'll maybe extend the length of the episode by me attempting to foolishly single pin pick these back into their proper positions, and then we'll conclude the episode. So give it one moment, listen to the music for like a minute or three, and I'll be right back with its cousin to introduce it with its mutated Alpha Centauri nemesis or whatever. So anyhow, be right back.
Here's a lock.
Wow, that was some energetic ass goddamn chiptune music. So I'm back. Welcome back to the Master of Unlocking. This is where we look at locks and physical security devices and techniques, and kind of look them up, explore them, see how they are, and then see if we can lockpick them or bypass them or do other security methods. And see if I can just, there we go. And like, oh my lord, so we've been going through like all these different like weird computer cable locks that anchor your laptop and desktop and stuff. Like if you were like at a display expo like at Best Buy, or you were like demoing computers at a convention so that people just don't walk off with them. And we opened up the second one, which is from Secure It at the Cablit General, the Cablit one here, with its instructions from Secure It. And the thing that caught my eye is, you know, normally it just comes with this generic black cable here. But what really caught my eye is this weird ass monstrosity here. So, yeah, this is weird. This is a Master Lock 2119. I have never seen this in my life. Now, from its opposite key, as we can see here, I'll put some black backing on it. This should be a 4-pin, maybe 5-pin, but I think it's going to be a 4-pin locking mechanism. 1, 2, 3, 4 pins it should be. Now, the problem I'm having right now is that it really wanted to hold that key. Dear Lord. I'm actually now concerned that I have to like wiggle and pull with all my might, that I have to like use Houdini or something on the mechanism. And what makes this kind of odd is when I first saw this one, my first thought was one of these for my kit. This is the good old classic Master Lock number 3 from the Master Lock company, which is why I kept the Master Lock tag in the description for this live stream. And like literally, when you put them next to each other, I think one's an older model, so it has a slightly older logo, one's a newer one, but despite the slight size difference, it literally looks like a Master Lock, a chunkier Master Lock number 3 that just doesn't have a shackle. There's a little bit more to that too, because basically, well, first of all, it looks like there might be a removable core. I don't know if there's a screw or a bolt, but that's definitely a retaining bolt pin system there, so I could technically take the faceplate off and remove this core, which I didn't even think about earlier. I should probably shine a flashlight through this later on. Second of all, if you look at the top, now, if you look at this Master Lock number 5, which is basically kind of the chunkier, biggest brother of all of them. In fact, what I'm going to do right now, even if it just doesn't want to behave online, is I'm going to pick/rake this Master Lock number 15, just so I can show you one thing about its design that I find endlessly amusing. Master Lock 15, as you remember, was the one that initially, because there was carbon monoxide poisoning bullshit going on in the building, I initially had a lot of trouble just opening. And then I did a follow-up episode where I was able to rake and pick this open easy. The only reason I didn't pick it open is because it's way faster to just rake it open. But the reason why I want to give you this Master Lock number 15 big boy, besides the fact that it's literally a 5-pin Master Lock number 3, but the same terrible bitting and design overall, is that if you look at this top here, you'll notice there's like this weird oval metal shape. It's kind of like a wrench that's closed off. And if you look at the one that they include, this 2119, which I've never seen before. I should look that up online, see if anyone has any videos. Let me hold it in different hands, just because of the way the shackle is positioned. You will notice that normally where the shackle would go into is plugged up over here, and so there is a solid piece of metal on that weird wrench loop with the hole exposed. And so I believe that end retaining pin from the cord, this one, basically plugs into this as like if it was the shackle, and then that gets locked in, I think. Oh, I think you actually have to lock turn this in order for it to open, so wiggle it in. And actually, while I was doing that, I just realized later I'm going to probably have to take the Houdini lube out. Yep, there we go. And open and the Houdini lube and lube up this lock because it's really stiff. I'm like worried about breaking the key off in there. So yeah, this is the 211, what is it? 2115, sorry, 2119. And it's just connected. It's basically... That was a fun sound. Am I being invaded by ninjas? Something fell. Alright, I'll look that up later. Either that or a cat's haunting me. Anyhow. If you're an assassin, can you nicely wait until after the stream before you get to me, okay? Because Twitch in particular has like... YouTube's given up a long time ago, but Twitch in particular has this whole thing about, like, blood and gore and snuff. Okay? Cool? Thanks. So anyhow, basically where normally the shackle would be, you would have the cord that anchors the computer down, which then goes onto, like, a glue plate, so that whether it's a desktop or a laptop, you can't take any of the equipment with you. And the whole point of this is that in order to remove this cable from whatever you've loop locked this to, you would have to take the key. You have to insert that in and then turn it, and then I can pull that metal bit out. So that's kind of how that works there. Now, the thing that I'm interested in, let's put this back in. Jeez, this is stiff. I'm really going to have to use some lock lube on this, and I might try to convince, depending on how many extras my friend has, I might be able to keep 2 of these. If not, I'll just keep this one. But yeah, so my whole thing that I'm thinking about is trying to pick this cable out, right? Let's tilt this up even more just so that I can like be more comfortable with this. Now, what's already interesting when I look at the key, and normally I would not notice this, we're still going to do some of the internal tests, is that its bitting is kind of flat, but at least they're trying to do like they did 2 low points and 2 high points, so they're trying to do a high, low, high. So that's kind of fascinating. But I believe this is only 4 pins. And the way we're going to tell is that we're going to take a very flat pick. The good ones for this are half diamonds and city rakes because they have a good flat back end. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the flat side of it. And I'm going to go in the lock. So flat side facing the pins. And then I'm going to push all the pins up. And then I'm going to pull it out, and we're going to, you might be able to hear this at home, but definitely I'm gonna feel these pins drop. You should be able to hear with the microphone, and we'll be able to count each drop. So 1, wow, and a lot of these pins feel near the front. 2, 3, 4. Yep, 4 pins. I'm gonna do one without counting, and you can count at home. Here we go. Pull all the pins up. Now I'm slowly removing it. Let's count. As that race car goes by, let's do that one more time. I'm pretty sure you all heard it at home. Also, what's interesting is that there's a little bit of a curve in this lock so far, so there is kind of a, I wouldn't call it paracentric, but an annoying keyway. And also, push the pins up really high too, and that it's a little small, so it's really tight to get like 25 thousandths of an inch, 28 thousandths of an inch might be the key point here. But let's count again, completely silent. Oh, hold on, let's try that again. And now an ambulance goes by. Welcome to living in this city. Okay, so that was a little harder to hear, but there's 4 pins in there. So let's see if we can actually pick this open. So I'm going to throw my classic in there. And this is pretty much so far like a Master Lock number 3. I wonder if the tensions are still the same. We're actually going to try that. I'm going to do what I usually do with tension. Again, this is also a bit rugged, so it might not open unless I lube it up. See how that goes. So I'm going to start off with this. Actually, let's just do the normal short hook and see how I feel about this, okay? And the weird part about all of this is how much of like the pins are completely near the front. I'm going to try single pin picking first. If not, I will then attempt to rake these open. So it seems like the front ones are very gummy. That paracentric wording there is getting to me a little bit with this super pointy short hook that I have. And then we'll try to rake this open. Oop, I felt some rotation, so that pin set. And of course, I'm only putting it half in just because I know... Oh, there we go. That from Master Lock 3 experiences, these type of Master Locks that these rivets would get on. So we have an open. It's spring tension, so if I let go, it pushes back on it, and then I can just pull. Let's actually switch hands here. Just pull this cord out. So yeah, this literally just is a Master Lock number 3 where they just plugged up the what would normally be if this was the shackle enter hole, and then the part where the shackle where the shackle would normally be rested at all times, they plugged up that hole with this weird loop thing. And then on the other side, they have where normally the other end of the shackle that's open would go in to close it, and instead they just put this nub in here that can go in the Master Lock and clip to it. And now is relocked. So that's kind of neat. So let's try different rakes on it, because this really just does seem like a Master Lock. So from what I can tell right now, the only difference between this Master Lock 2119 and a Master Lock number 3 is this one's slightly bigger. It looks like it has potentially a removable core. We'll look at that in a second. And that the fact that, which is a big difference, is that it doesn't. It's same build design with the rivets and everything, but it doesn't have a shackle. Instead, it has this little metal bit on a cord, and it's designed to like keep cord bits down or other non-shackle interchangeable things so that you don't lose all your stuff. So let's try the, honestly, the worm or triple peak smooth Bogota, or what's known as sparrows as the worm, might be a little overkill for this one. But I am going to try this. If not, I will take the double peak out of my kit. And then, which is what should work, because it usually eats through Master Locks, this is the City Rake. And why is my foot itching so much? Hang on. This is distracting me. Yeah, another terrible thing is that despite it being March, it's already like summer weather. Like, we were literally in a blizzard like 2 weeks ago, and now we're in summer, and I literally have 8 mosquito bites. Like, I've had more mosquito bites in the past 2 days than the entirety of the past 2 years of summer. I don't get it. Climate change is real, and we're all fucked. So I'm going to do the same thing I do with the tension on Master Lock number 3s, which is light tension, and then just add a little bit more tension to that because that spring-loaded core. We'll see if this works. It seems like it catches, and I think that's more of that it probably needs to be properly lubed up. That paracentricness does get in the way of things. One of the things that I have ordered for my personal kit are S-rakes and Bogotas that are 15 thousandths of an inch, so that they fit in smaller keyways, so that I should be able to rake European size locks as well as high security locks with weird paracentric keyways like this one. This is honestly really difficult one because of that curve at the bottom, but a bigger one is that even with the smoother profile, the worm seems to catch a lot because this lock's very stiff. I'm definitely going to have to spray this down with lock lube with my new Houdini lube. I won't do that on the stream because it'll dirty up everything and take too long. That's what she said. And also because, let me just tilt the camera down a little bit more. I cannot wait to get that Elmo back. Also just simply because of time constraints, because I definitely want to end this episode in a couple of minutes. So I'm going to try the S-Rake next because it's a little bit slimmer profile, and I've had successes with S-Rakes before on Master Lock number 3s, and in theory, anything on a Master Lock number 3 should work on this Master Lock 2119. It just might be tensioning it too hard. And again, I really do think that the problem, there's, again, that little bit of S-curve, but honestly, a bigger problem is that the pins feel like I see scrapes on this lock and stuff. I think this lock was either used before or just transported poorly, and thus everything's kind of locked in. And what I'm betting is going to probably open this is the City Rake profile, because usually with these type of lock designs with Master Lock, if they're 4 or 5 pins, like that first 3 couple of bumps or whatever, are usually really good with the City Rake technique. So here we go. So I'm going to reset. I'm going to put the reposition my hand here. I'm going to put the little bit of pressure, and then we're gonna wiggle it, see if we can get anything. Even if we don't rake it open, I'm at least happy that I got to single pin pick it, and it was literally the exact same, little bit more spring tension, I would say. And again, that paracentric loop makes positioning a little bit harder, but it's literally, it's like the same, like you set 2 of the 4 pins, same lightish pressure. I'm gonna actually hold it this way, see if it makes a difference. Same light tension hold, lightish tension hold, and everything that a Master Lock number 3 has. It's like, it was literally, once I got the pick in position so that I could get around that weird warding here, it was literally muscle memory from the other Master Lock number 3s that I had, even though they're completely key bitted separately. It's pretty nuts. So yeah, so far, unfortunately, I'm not getting really any success with the rakes, which is semi-surprising me here. I really do think, though, because I could feel the rake sticking and stuff, I do think that this has to do with the, that this was probably already in use for a while and was beat up, and so I have to spray lube in it, and then it will properly, like, work again. Because usually this works pretty well, the City Rake, but like literally, like, it's easier for me to pull this rake out than to push it back in, because it's literally catching on those pins. And I don't think it's a bidding thing. Again, they did try to go for like a semi-high, low-high or whatever, but like when I try this worm rake, normally worm rakes on these are smooth like butter, and with this, it's like catching, like if I put the normal Bogota in here. Like it's really a problem. I'm actually wondering if I might be able to zip this open. Let's try this. Let's try the old school, the super old school classic zipping method here. Let's try the retension it again. Some of the pins set because I can feel the rotation. And I don't think there's any security pins in here. Let's try zipping it with the rake. Let's see if that works better than actually raking it. So yeah, I really think what's been defeating me in the raking department is the absolute simple fact, because again, when I even do it with these keys, and these keys, by the way, ooh, the metal is so hard, like it actually is trying to physically cut into my skin. So I do think it's that, like, things need to be, these are either, like, the key is so new and the lock body is so used that I need to spray Houdini. I might even spray it on the key, but definitely the internals of this lock. Now, the last thing I want to check, and then I think we'll end the episode, because now my foot's really itching and I'm getting hungry, that's why I have these bag of chips here, is I'm just curious to see, because there's that little bolt right there, that bolt retainer, that usually means, and with this outline here, that the core should be removable. So I just want to, like, look in, hold on. Let me get my, it's right across here, so I don't have to go on break. Let's get the, couple of things. Let's get the flashlight. And let's get one of the wrenches, not the tension wrenches, one of ye normal wrenches. I'm going to try to grab, there should be 2 thin ones in here, although I only see 1 thin one. Alright, I have 2. I have a flathead and I have a, which one is thinner here? This one. And is this one magnetic or is that one magnetic? I think this one's magnetic. Yep, that one's magnetic. Interesting that that one isn't. I don't think I need I'll take the flathead just in case. I have a flathead and a Phillips F&P, or P&F, or whatever you would call it. And we have the flashlight. So even though you won't be able to unfortunately see this on cam, I am going to, after doing one last swig of this, going to shine the flashlight into the hole. Like the lock gynecologist I am. And I want to see if there's an actual... There should be the pin in there that holds this, but I want to see if there's a screw or not. Oh, come on. Really? There we go. So, the good news, there's a pin, but it's not a screw, and I can't... Okay, so here's my problem. None of these Phillips heads or whatever, even the magnetic one, is going to go in and unscrew this. It's one, too small, and two, it's not a Phillips head. That confirms it's not a Phillips head. However, which I'm actually now going to go back into that drawer, but I don't have to move much, is what it does look like is if it's not a smooth bolt that you would essentially have to destroy in order to open, it actually might be a frickin' hex wrench. Now, my problem is that I have no idea what size, sorry to blind everyone, but I don't know what size of a wrench this might be. Let's start small and go up. I actually think it might be the 7th out of 64, because I think the 3 out of 32 might be too big. Sorry, too small. So we're gonna try. It's really difficult to do because it's literally like, you can't see this on this camera, but it's literally like a black. Why don't you? There we go. It's like a black abyss in there. So I have to kind of like, unless I had a friend here to stand here and I'm getting a floater, to look over here, I kind of have to like look and aim. Like that can't be it because it's down here. The pin part should be up there, but I don't know if I'm like actually hitting the mechanism or not. It's so weird. Alright, so I'm going to have to do this in the weirdest way possible, and hopefully this won't blind everybody. I'm going to have to set my light this way. And I'm going to have to like look in so I have enough light to kind of go in, try to get that. Actually, this one might be too big. I might actually have to use the 3x32. Let's try you. Didn't even mean that to rhyme. I'm a potent, I don't know. Oh! It got in! Okay, shit. This might be the one. So if it's not completely smooth, might be able to do this open. And I also might just need lock noob to do it. So righty, tighty, lefty, loosey. So I should be able to... Oh, there it goes. Do this. We're taking it apart. And I'm not going to take apart the core either. I can pretty much tell you right now that it is probably, from what I can guess, just standard pins in there. It's a standard pin, four key pins, 4 driver pins, 4 like brass springs. And I think they're just the different heights, like on the key bitting. I don't think there's a spool or serrated because I would have felt that. Okay. Anything in there? Hold on. Let's look in there. I want to make sure nothing fell out. Come on. See, the weird thing is this is not on low battery either. It's just finicky. Okay, so that's interesting. So it seems like... Yeah, it's like a one-way screw. So it actually stays in there, so I don't have to worry about weird things falling out. But now we just took the faceplate off, and now we could actually remove the core. There she is. It's a standard 4. Whoop, and there goes the actuator. But yeah, it's a standard, you know, Bible with 4-pin driver pins and springs style core. And once I put the little actuator on the back, this can interface with the lock again. And it's just your standard locking mechanism all the way back in there. It's really cool because, again, normally you can't take apart master lock number 1 through 15s unless you destroy them. So it's really neat that this, I'm still getting used to the number, that this 2119 exists, because it kind of gives you a look of like what is actually in a master lock number 3 if it did have or a master lock 15 if it did have a removable core. So yeah, I was not expecting to get a new variant of master lock, even though it's just a slightly bigger weirdo cousin to the master lock number 3s and number 15s. But yeah, that was the computer security products. Cord for holding your laptop down on a display, and let's put it a little taller for my crazy hair. And then we were unable to get that tubular lock open just because of physics. But then this cablet from Secure It. I just got the joke. That's why it's called the cablet. It's from Secure It. I'm starting a 90s rap here. Yo, I'm Cablet from Secure It. I lock the Ritz because I'm the biznit. You know, like it's that. I hate this company already. But yeah, they have a whole same cable lock system similar to the tubular lock, one that we looked at, except it uses this variant of basically a master lock 1 through 5 that has a removable core for whatever reason. In order to secure these computers. And, I could go on stream and try to unfuck these and whatever, these other tubular locks, but I think we're pretty good with this episode. This was supposed to be a short one. I only planned this to be an hour and a half. And yeah, that's my expectations. So, again, sorry for the slow start and everything, but thank you for watching The Master of Unlocking. Don't go anywhere yet, especially if you are on Twitch, because as I usually do on this show, for the Twitch users, as the music plays on our outro, I'm going to be looking for another channel, and we're going to raid them. And it could be a bunch of different things. I usually try to go for, like, hacker scientific stuff, so, like, people building robots and circuits and keyboards, and, like, people knitting, and people, programming in Python and Rust, and their own servers using COBOL and shit. But, it also just might be some crazy VTuber. You might get a cool electronics DJ. There might be late breaking news or something. Who knows? But it was just really fun to, once again, just blind explore a lock system that I've never seen. And it's kind of funny because I was just sort of like, oh, cool. I finally don't get to, like, explore or review a Master Lock product. And then it just turns out one of them has a Master Lock product. So Master Lock is literally like Microsoft, where no matter what computing thing you go to, it's just there. Okay? It's just there. And, But yeah, that's pretty much it, so stay tuned if you're on Twitch. For everyone else, it'll be basically the end of the show. Before I get into the end stuff, I do want to bring out of kind of future things that are happening, including with the show. First of all, I'm actually shocked that no one in chat has asked me about this shirt. Okay? Oh, by the way, these are shorts. These are not boxers. These are actual shorts with man products on there, like shavers. It's so stupid. But this shirt, real quick in chat, does anyone know what this shirt is or about this shirt? And I'll give you a hint. Yes, it's a clown. No, I'm not part of the ICP. Okay? I am not Insane Clown Posse. But yes, this is a clown. And no, it's not ICP. Does anyone know in chat what this shirt is? Because in a couple of seconds, I'm going to tell you what this is. Because I'm really because I know someone in the YouTube comment section is going to be like, why are you wearing a clown on your shirt with VLC supported? What's going on with this shirt? Well, in addition for it being the 2600 meeting last Friday, it was also my friend's birthday, who is a professional clown and performance person, and this is actually their shirt. They actually do have a website. I will say, due to the 18 plus nature of their content, you can view this at your own risk. But just because it's my friend's birthday and I want to celebrate her, I helped her move back to Brooklyn at one point. It was really cool. No, I'm not going to dox where she is, but you can go find her at, this should be the link, lydiawiltz.com. DefCon.com, I believe. I think that's the website. I'll actually double check that now just to absolutely make sure that that's she's not a musician. I don't know if she plays any music, but she's not a musician. But she has a lot of really impressive talents. She knows how to juggle. She knows how to dance. She does acting and burlesque performances and stuff like that. Again, as I said, in modeling work, as I said, at balloons. Not all of her, like, she's definitely a clown for adults, for people that drink and smoke and stuff. Not that, but yeah, no, that's her website. So it's on Lydia Wiltz. Let me click on her shop real quick. Does she have the shirt? No, she's still waiting for stuff, but this is the shirt she used to sell. I kind of got this shirt in a very unique way that I'm very happy for. But yeah, it's her birthday, so tell her happy birthday. She is 27 years old. I am 34, and as I told her on her birthday, you are still a fucking baby. As me, the old man that you can't see on this crappy camera, but I keep growing gray hairs. It's fucking awful. But anyhow, let's actually switch back to kind of the viewing mode here, and we'll wrap up the episode. So just some quick things. And again, thank you all for watching The Master of Unlocking. I can't wait to order more stuff from the computersecurity.com. I can't believe that exists. The next Master of Unlocking will be on March 20th. It will be 2 days after our anniversary hybrid meetup event. I'm hoping by this Wednesday, it should be by this Wednesday, I should be able to announce, actually let me move the logo down, announce where it will be, because there's a specific place that we're looking into it being, if that makes any sense. And if not, we will go to a backup location who has already agreed to be the backup location, so that should be really fun. So the 20th will be the next one. I don't know exactly what's going to be on that episode, but again, because I want to keep it a surprise, but literally the day of our meeting or the morning on the 19th, I should be able to announce what it is. I know this seemed like last minute because I was just really busy today. This was my last busy day of the week before I become busy now exclusively for DCG 201 stuff. Because there's a lot of, Jack moved and then other things happened. And so our next stream for locks will be on the 20th. Can't wait to see you all there. We should also have a different layout. I should have the Elmo back by then, or a new high resolution camera. We're going to be looking at a lot of different new things. That's going to be really fun. I can already tell you that in probably May, I'm going to try to aim for early April, but in probably May, this is an episode I've wanted to do for a while. I'm going to do the belt system for Lockpickers United, so that's going to be fun. 2 more future episodes that I can also list is there's also going to be the infamous IKEA episode, which I can't wait to tell you all what that's about. I'm literally going to try to do that. If the belt system doesn't happen early April, the IKEA thing definitely should happen early April. Another fun thing is, because people have been asking me to do this, since I ordered a ton of stuff online recently, and obviously I've been ordering stuff for a while, there is going to be an episode where we talk about how you actually buy lockpicks. It sounds kind of stupid easy, but you just type into Google or Amazon, or you've seen me repeat Sparrows over and over again, but I want to show what are some of the big made brands in lockpicking, the big websites you go to online, how shipping kind of works, what to look out for, when sales seasons happen, where you can get other lock stuff that most people don't think about that are useful, how to shop Chinese stuff on Alibaba and shit like that. And also how the common question I get is I've had a lot of people who have lockpicking kits, but they actually don't know how to shop for normal locks, particularly if they've started out. So I'm also going to tell you what lock order you should probably go in. I'll give you a hint: Master Lock, great beginners, and how would you shop for these locally, which models to buy and stuff. So that will definitely be a future episode. That one I'm probably gonna wait for more of the beginning of the summer about. I'm also hoping to do stuff for DEF CON 30 and a bunch of other conventions as well, so stay tuned for that. 2 more shout outs. I'm going to put this link in the chat. Again, our website is wonky because we're updating stuff, but if you go to our blog on either Medium or Write As, I'm actually going to read everybody because this is in the document that I wrote here. about we talked, a lot of our members talked, and we kind of like with our previous stuff, like the Black Lives Matter protest and, you know, China's weirdness of being China and Jan 6 and stuff, like what our stance of these, because, you know, again, you know, we try not to be political, whatever the fuck that means, but like, this is kind of affecting everybody to the point where one of the things that we even asked online is there's an amazing hacker convention called PH Days. And I'm like, I've always wanted to go to that, but now I'm like, do they even exist anymore? Like, it's not even like as a, like, oh man, now I can't go to Russia to see PH Days. They normally update by now, like, hey, this is when we're going to have the next con, and here's the keynote speaker. Nothing. Because of the invasion. So, like, I don't even know if they're even around anymore. Depending on what happens after with Russia, I don't even know, like, if they're a thing. Yeah, I don't even know if those people there are still alive, right? But I'm going to read the official stance on this. Because we at DCG 201, formerly known as DEF CON 201 and DC 201, continue to follow our stances on previous conflicts and crises regarding the current Russian-Ukraine invasion. We denounce and fucking hate Russia's imperialistic invasion with its ethno-national justification, which is unacceptable and unethical and inhumane, and is against the hacker way of life, and that our hearts go out to the untold amount of Ukrainians of all types, background, ethnicities, and colors who have been, let's just say it as it is, have been murdered in the conflict, including the Russians that were sent out to die. Many of them, according to reports, didn't even know this was the country they were going to invade, and it's the same ethnicity. So, for a lot of their nationalities, it's the same ethnicity. So it'd be the equivalent of like being here that, hey, we're going to be deployed to a nasty war in the United States, and they get like deployed in like I don't know, like Washington State, you know. Or actually like Washington, D.C. Remember when they were deployed for all the BLM stuff and like the National Guard just basically refused? Like they're being sent to kill basically their own people in a sense. So both the Ukrainians of all different types, whether they're white, black, gay, whatever, who are being, you know, devastated, their homes are being destroyed, murdered, kidnapped, tortured, as well as both the Russians who have been sent to fight this, a lot of them don't want to fight this, and this was a surprise for them, who are basically being killed for no reason, with the real reason being because of a greedy dictator wants something stupid and basically wants to be like, if I'm going down, I'm taking you all with me. And also the Russians in Russia who have been protesting this, and there's been thousands of them who have been arrested, and knowing also the Russian state, because there's a reason why the United States hate them, we're basically very similar, who are not only being arrested for untold amounts of time, but are also probably being treated poorly, to say it nicely, and being tortured because of all of this. So this is just a whole mess of unneeded suffering and death, and we are all against this. And as I just posted in the chat, the direct link to, we have a little guide here, because this is what we do. We don't like to look at things and just be like, oh, well, that's sad. So anyhow, about Burp Suit, like, we're not that type of group. We're hackers. So even if it's still a lot of unknowns, or things might change, or we might find out that something might be ineffective down the line, we're not just, like most New Jerseyans, we're not just here to complain. We are here to attempt to, even if we can't provide answers, to at least find a potential path that we could go on to either find answers or make things better. So we made this whole guide. We also have a plain text version, which is our Write As blog, and we have a Tor link to our Write As, so that if you're using, you know, if like in Russia, they block like web portals so you can't see Meetup or whatever, or like a .com or .us server, you can load up Tor and go to a actual Tor onion that will have this here. I'm also looking at taking a version of this guide and putting up on like Loki or some sort of peer-to-peer service, so it just never goes away. You know, take that, centralized internet, as certain crypto bros with central exchanges are finding out. And we have like links to like unbiased opinions for the most part about like what is this invasion, why is it happening. I actually plan to add a new one that adds a lot of historical context to it, in addition to like the resource ones and the greedy bullshit ones. And then our statement on this, and just the main beat of this article that we wrote is all the different ways. I'm sorry to be preaching here, but this is very important. This has affected me. I'll put it this way: I'm an American living in America. That's what unfortunately New Jersey is. But my nationality is that I am half African American. I'm half African. I'm half Black African, and I'm half Polish. And I have a lot of Polish relatives, and I have friends in Poland, Ukraine, and Russia, and no one's having fun right now. So yeah, it's just kind of a big deal for me. And we also have members we have fans who lived in Ukraine who reached out to us before we even reached out to them, then letting us know that they're okay and that they're like not dead or kidnapped and tortured, but everything is still awful. So things like that. And what we have in this guide, including the text version, is links to all the different ways you can help. We're not here to spread, even though, again, like, we want Ukraine to repel this invasion, because let's face the facts, no matter how bad Ukraine may seem, like, I don't even think they are personally at all, but just no matter how bad they are, Russia was the one who invaded. Kind of like, no matter how bad Saddam Hussein was, and he was a horrible person who ran a horrible regime, when you invade another country and just kill a ton of civilians without provoking, that's a big fucking deal. So it's just, you know, that's just the facts, and that's what happened with our eyeballs in front of us. Putin made a whole speech about this. I'm sure most people didn't look at it, but anyhow, we're not here to like talk about how amazing the Ukrainian president is with all of the memes and things like that. We're not here to spread propaganda. What we're here for is the people in Ukraine and also the various Russians who are suffering right now. And it's just links to all the different ways you can help. We have some like big main links and lists here. And we have all different types where you can send money and resources to. You have the general war effort, which sends non-lethal weapon and protection for like the local citizens. It's not like the military stuff. We have a list of shelters here. We have various charities that help the children in that region. And by the way, for a lot of these, like if you scroll up, you have like Donbass SOS and Crimea SOS. For some of the stuff, and we're going to add even more, it's also just some of the surrounding areas. So it's not just Ukraine. It's for a bunch of different peoples. Again, a ton of people are fucked. This is the bare minimum we can currently do to help. Especially since, spoilers and full disclosure, we're not endorsing any hacker group because we don't believe right now in hacking nation states. It's just logistically and ethically just way too dangerous to do. And again, we'd rather build and heal instead of destroy. That's like a real thing for us. So our whole focus here is getting resources, whether it's money or physical goods, to all the people that have been displaced, the families that are grieving for loved ones that are dead or detained, rather than just be like, oh, we just defaced a website, checkmate 5D chess. Like, we're not here to do that. So we have charities here that help the children in that region, people that have helped the elderly, because there's a lot of those in Eastern Europe, the disabled, the group that everyone seems to forget, especially during COVID, various groups to help women. A big one, and this frustrated me, we plan on doing a live stream special that will hopefully go off the ground. It's like halfway off the ground right now in like a day or 5, where we can actually sit down with people, as I said before, in Ukraine, outside Ukraine and Russia and stuff, and in America and other countries, and talk about all of this. So I'm not going to go into everything, but this just frustrated me, was that, yes, there was a lot of racism from the Polish government and the Ukrainian government and Ukrainian citizens as well, against a lot of the black diaspora there. Mainly it's a lot of Nigerian Ukrainians and Nigerian immigrants on visa and stuff who are trying to get out of the country like everyone else, and they were just kind of left there. What I was sad that a lot of people didn't share was there's actually ways to get out of this. There's a whole Nigerians leaving Ukraine movement that's set up by the, what are they called? The diplomats in Nigeria and other African nations. And we have all the listing numbers and resources of how you can help these stranded people to get out of there. The LGBTQ people in those regions, especially if you know, like, Eastern European culture and Russia, holy crap. The Jewish diaspora, the Romani diaspora, the Southeast Asian diaspora, blood donations. If you you hate humans, but you like all the catos and doggos out there. You have animals, the environment, the homeless, investigative journalism, which is going to be important. So we have non-propaganda information about all of this, both in real time and for historic record. Heritage sites, COVID-19, because that's still going on. If you are sketchy about fiat currency and you're one of the like good crypto bros and you have way more cryptocurrency that you know what to do with, so you want to donate, there's a lot of scams in fiat currency, never mind in cryptocurrency, and I'm actually going to also cover this on our next Crypto Barons, which is this upcoming Saturday, which, by the way, you all get to vote on what the main topics is going to be, and I promise we'll be done with this stream because it's already like 15 minutes more than I wanted to, but this is important shit. So we decided if you're a crypto bro and you just are in cryptocurrency and you want to donate and you're like, I don't know which ones are scams or not, we posted all of the actual legitimate stuffs from the Ukraine government, which is currently accepting Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Polkadot, to all these different ones, including, which we covered in a Crypto Barons episode, the Giving Block, which is an amazing, legitimate, they're literally the Tiltify, but for crypto instead of fiat currencies. The Unchained movement, which is the actual, like, people who aren't crypto bros who want to donate. Uniswap made their own portal. Binance made their own ones. UK Pride has their own setup. There's also a Russian one that we're going to deal with for all the people who are currently being detained. All the different places you can donate, not only just money, but like computing and hacking resources for different organizations that are trying to digitally preserve this, because in between all the different propaganda groups going on, as well as like both Russia not only censoring its own citizens, but foreign companies pulling their internet portals out of Russia, it's very important we need to document this, including the Internet Archive, where literally, thanks to them, we have a very important piece of history that literally changed a lot about the war that would have been lost if it didn't exist. So you have the Wikimedia Foundation that runs Wikipedia, archive.org, the Internet Society, Access Now, Freedom of the Press, and then we just have cool OSINT and Recon for like all the different computing stuff going on in Ukraine. Again, we do not, as we said here, DCG 201 does not support any hacking for or against nation states. All the information we have is for research and information purposes only, and so, you know, anything you do except at your own risk. We have cool coverage about all the different IT stuff and hacks. We're actually going to add more. The propaganda and manipulation going on, the various tools that are being used, what different hacker groups have been doing, stuff like that. And as I said, I'm going to do it one last time, but I post that direct Medium. You can go to defcon201.medium.com to go to our general blog. But I'm going to post the direct link again. And also this will eventually be on our link tree and all of our streaming stuff, so you'll be able to see that. I'm hoping this stops. We actually have some form of legit peace in the next couple of days, although knowing this reality, it seems less likely. We're probably going to leave this up for like a month or 3. Not as long as we probably did for COVID, just because I'm trying to be like, as Silver the Hedgehog once said in that yet another terrible Sonic game, I'm an optimist, but I'm also a realist. So I'm trying to be like, happiness, please. But, you know, I'm also like, but humans are terrible. So you have all of that. I'm sorry to also get heavy on a freaking Locksport show. But again, this has affected me. This has affected DCG 201 members, both in New Jersey and far away. If you saw, Ukraine also shouted out New Jersey. We are literally the best state in the union. Fuck you guys. And again, we're going to probably re-go over what I just said in more detail when we do that special stream, which is why we canceled the February meeting in the first place. It's not really canceled it. We kind of repurposed it. But regardless, as I'm going to try to get into, is we're going to be doing a lot of streaming. So good stuff. And then we'll end this, and then on Twitch we'll go right to stream. Our next Master of Unlocking is going to be on March 20th. Again, around our on March 18th, which is our hybrid in-person and online 4-year anniversary, that's when I will announce what the topic of the episode is going to be. But just know that by the time Tuesday happens, I will have all the lock stuff I've wanted in the mail here, finally. So I will have literally months, probably all the way up until like June, July, like basically by DEFCON 30, we'll start running out of materials for Master of Unlocking, so I have a lot of new stuff. So that will be our next Master of Unlocking stream. I don't know when that Ukraine special is going to show up, or if it'll actually even go through, so just keep your eyes out for that. Again, if you like this content, you can, for free, You can follow, share, and subscribe on Twitch D Live and YouTube. You will get alerts when that stream happens if you're not up to date on our website and blog. I can guarantee that the next stream will be this Saturday on the 12th for Crypto Barons. I have so many different topics. I'm going to cover the cryptocurrency stuff with the Ukraine-Russian situation regardless as an opener. But starting this week and a couple of times throughout the year, you're going to actually get to vote on which topics I cover first for that show, because I just have so many now. I have way more than I do. Like Master of Unlocking, I have to plan out, so I can't just be like, hey, what do you guys want me to cover? Because you're going to bring up some obscure thing out of my ass that I'm going to have to like fly to South Africa for and like barter pens and snow globes and shit in order to get. But for Crypto Barons, where we look at blockchain technologies and cryptocurrencies as technologies, I literally don't know which topic to do on the 12th, so you get to vote on that. And of course, our main meeting's on the 18th, and we might have something cool that weekend on the 25th. You might see Circuit Breakers back. You might see what was the other thing that we started? Not Halt and Catch Fire. Patch Tuesday, where I'm working on bringing back, among other things. So we're just going to be doing a lot of streaming, and also I can guarantee that by the next stream, we're doing charity live streams again. Basically, we're charity this month, just be no charity in April, and then we're doing a charity again in May. So charity live streams for everybody. So we will announce what our official partner will be for this live stream that we're going to be raising money for. Hint, hint, it's probably going to be like related to the Ukraine crisis, but it would still be a good cause to donate to, so just be aware of that. So anyhow, that's it for Master of Unlocking. Thank you for watching today's episode. We learned a lot, especially this is like my new favorite thing right here. Let's actually, one last thing. I don't know if we'll do a special for this, okay? I don't know if we'll do a special or if I'll incorporate to the next Master of Unlocking on the 20th. But one of the things I've been alerted for, and I wish I knew this because I would have campaigned for this despite me being a nobody, is there's a thing called the Locky Awards. I had no idea this existed. It's the Lock Sport Community Awards, where it says here the Locky Awards is an awards program for the Lock Sport community. The awards are primarily focused on YouTube videos like us, with some exceptions. If you want to support Locky Awards, you could donate or sign up to become a sponsor. It's from this Lock Sporter person that I vaguely heard of, but he seems like Metroid seems like a cool guy. There's this whole voting process started back in January. I didn't know all of this. Basically, I literally found out on on March 1st. So it was like right when voting ended, I found out. So I didn't even get to like do the nomination. Next year, I'm gonna try to run for this. I will like do a whole like presidential, I'm not a Bogota sort of thing going on. The anti-Dark Sim 905 pledge. Anyhow, but they're going to be doing a live stream of the awards on the 13th. So I'll put it this way. I might do a special on the 13th, even though it'll be ass o'clock in the morning for it. Or I might do a pre-recording of my reactions, and then on the 20th, I will display my reactions to the awards. But either way, I'm excited for this, so stay tuned if this is going to be a special or be part of the next if it's going to be a Master of Unlocking special, or if this is just going to be part of the next episode for Master of Unlocking on the 20th. But anyhow, now I'm going to finally end this shindig. Let's do the ending spiel here. That's it for the Master of Unlocking. Thank you for watching the show with my crazy hair, and this episode went on way longer than I thought it would. Just like I said, that's also what she said. Again, if you like the content that you see so far, and unfortunately we didn't get any today, but we're over 1K on everything, so I'm good. Actually, take that back. We're very close to 1K on YouTube. So if you haven't subscribed on YouTube, please do so. But you can like, share, and subscribe to us on Twitch, D Live, and YouTube. And make sure if you're on YouTube, by the way, make sure you hit that bell and turn on all notifications, because YouTube is a horribly programmed piece of crap and will literally, you will subscribe to your favorite channel and then wonder why you never get anything from them. And it's because by default YouTube just wants to let you know about it when it feels like it, instead of telling you every time they do something like every other service. So that's a whole thing. But yeah, make sure you do that. It's completely free. You get notifications from when we go on. If it's live, we usually also get notifications during the stream, and I cheer that person on and stuff. It's great. But regardless, even if you were here to lurk and learn or interact and chat, thank you for everyone who got to watch and interact in this, whether it's on live stream, after the fact, you're an introvert or an extrovert. We learned a bunch of stuff about locks today. Again, our next broadcast will be on the 20th for Master of Unlocking. The next broadcast guaranteed overall is going to be on this Saturday. I love how I mentioned YouTube and we got our spam right at the end. This will almost be the episode where we avoided all the YouTube spam and it just came up. But anyhow, yeah, while I remove this idiot, the next guarantee stream where you'll see my faces on the 12th, where you will be able to vote for, let's remove this quote. There we go. Where you'll see my mug again, and we're going to have various specials. And then, of course, on the 18th, it's going to be our hybrid stream. We're going to be particularly, we're going to be doing celebrations all month, in addition to, helping the Ukraine and Russian citizens with the crisis. But we're going to be doing celebrations all month, so stay tuned for all of those, like on Instagram and stuff. And speaking of which, you can find us at our website, even though we're updating it right now, at dcg201.org or defcon201.org. And we're also on a bunch of social media. You can find us on Twitter at defcon21nj, or at Instagram at defcon201, as well as on GitHub and hostducks.mastodon, hostducks.social, and since it's a Mastodon, we have our own .onion. We have a whole master list of all of them here at this link tree. And even we're trying to, I will admit it's not very popular, but while we're trying to find our new IRC home, you can also join us on our Discord at this link. So that's it for our show. We're going to do the outro music. If you're on Twitch, please stay tuned because we're about to raid another channel. I want you to say hi to them, whoever it is. Thank you for watching Master of Unlocking. I can't wait to see you on the 20th for our next episode of this show, or on the 19th for just general stuff, or on the 18th for our anniversary. Lots of streams this month, and that doesn't even include ShmooCon. Holy crap. So anyhow, thank you for watching. I am Sidepocket, the co-founder of DCG201, your host. Hope you have a good night. Hope you stay safe. Hope you stay legal, as the as Bozzy Bill would say. Hack the planet. Dirty Jersey represents. And remember, Master Lock loves recycling their 1 through 15 series for other things. So if it looks like a Master Lock number 3, and it quacks like a Master Lock number 3, and it's poorly bidded like a Master Lock number 3, chances are it probably has the same stupid shit as a Master Lock number 3. I think that's what we learned today. Peace, everybody. Enjoy the outro music. See you in a bit. Say hi to the person we raid, by the way. taking a little longer than I want, so stay tuned.